When it comes to other people messing up, we always go to choice. When it comes to us messing up, we go to chance first. We go to things outside of our control because we can identify certain things. What's the one group of people who take responsibility for their F-ups more than any other group? Did I ever ask you that question? Take a guess. The answer is black men are more likely to blame themselves. Just in the United States, black people are socialized, look, in the black community, that if you want to get ahead in this world, you need to be responsible for yourself. The man, the system, is not going to help you and not going to look out for you. And if you want to get ahead, if you want to climb these stairs of upward social mobility, it's all about you, my friend. Do not expect anyone to come along and give you a handout, to help you up, if you fall down. All these one after another. That is the story in the black community by far and away. And so when we ask black men, even more than black women, all right, man, you screwed up, so you got a problem here. You're flunking out of school. You're doing this. You're doing that. You got caught shoplifting. You got caught this. You got caught that. Who knows? Whatever it is, it's the black man that's going to say, yeah, I know, man, I screwed up. Not, oh, the system's oppressive. The system's holding me down. The system's... That's what white people think, in particular, that black people think. Because that allows white people to not take responsibility for systems that are stacked against certain groups of people. Because if I can sit back and be like, yeah, man, you know, my problem is, you know, black people, my issue with black people or brown people, what minorities, I don't know. Is it like, yeah, it just seems like they're always blaming the system. It's like, it's actually the opposite. The problem is they blame themselves more than they probably should. White people, by contrast, are most likely to blame the system, which is ironic because that's not the story. The story is that it's like, yeah, white people, we like pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and we do what we need to do to move ahead and we take care of ourselves, and it's all these like black and brown, the minorities. This is the sociology class. So we're always taking things and we're turning them on their heads. How many of you have ever I'm not talking about who's on television, who makes it on television, talking about race issue. Well, that's going to be like some sort of activist who's going to be talking about institutionalized racism and institutionalized discrimination. And that's all you're going to hear, because that's an activist. That's their job. Like me, I'm going to talk about sociology. If you want to ask me to talk about something else, well, I'd love to just talk about nature. But you're never going to hear me talk about that because I don't have a platform to talk about bunnies. So you'll never hear me talk about it. So if the only platform I ever get as a black man, let's say, or a black person or some kind of activist to talk about racism and institutionalized racism, then that's all you're going to hear. But how many people who are not black have ever sat around in a focus group and actually had a conversation with a wide mix of people who have darkly pigmented skin about what is the cause of inequality, race and ethnic inequality in the United States, and the degree to which black people and brown people are more responsible for their place in the system than anybody else. You never actually hear what the conversation is, but when you sit around and you talk about black people, man, it's just like, oh my God, it's not about blaming the man. It's not about blaming white people. It's just about assessing the struggles that are within the only community. It's about taking responsibility, man. So much so that actually, ironically, I feel like that very oftentimes black people go too far by taking almost all the responsibility for stuff. And sometimes, like, I got to convince people, like, hey, dude, hang on a second. There is this thing called white racism, that's also responsible for some of the stuff that you're going through. I lean toward conservatism. I lean toward over here. I'm a registered libertarian, my friends. And a registered libertarian is a hardcore freedom and personal responsibility. So I am registered in the political party that is most hardcore about being right here. You want to move forward? Take responsibility for yourself. You want to get ahead in the world? You are responsible for getting ahead. Don't blame any other people. Don't look to other people. Don't look to the government for any help whatsoever. Do it on your own. That's the hardcore libertarian perspective. That's the political party that I am registered for to keep me sane. And yet, me, with that, what I'm telling you is sometimes I have to come over here to, like, convince sometimes black people, like, stop this, like, kind of taking all the weight of the responsibility for some of the shit that you're going through. Like, stop talking like a libertarian, because sometimes you gotta see the system. And sometimes you don't. I hear black people and brown people and Hispanics and Asians, I hear people of color blaming things outside of their control in times when they really need to be blaming themselves. I hear that because I'm in the conversations a lot. But within the community, I hear a lot of libertarian thinking.